Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Real Estate SEO. My name is Josh Guerra, and today we're going to be talking about updating content and the importance of updating content in regards to search engine optimization. So just to kind of give you all some background, like part of search SEO is really, giving Google information it needs to understand what the website or a particular page is about. And really how you do that is through content. Google is as close as you can get to a human when it comes to understanding what's on the page. But being able to give Google and other search engines alike, really useful information about the topics that you're trying to educate people on is mission critical. And really like that content and quality content most of all is really what Google especially is after, to be able to give optimal experience when it comes to their search engine or their search user base, right? So Google's been very transparent in the fact that they want the best possible experience for their users, and a way that they can control and deliver that experience is by rewarding website providers or website and content creators with higher positioning on the web, when they create quality content. And I've really kind of watched over the years a lot of people kind of take the approach of quantity over quality content, and I think that is a recipe for disaster, especially moving forward, and especially with tool like AI tools that are out there that just you press a button and it creates content, right? I wouldn't go down that route unless you really, really knew what you were doing. Google's guidelines have been very, very direct and very transparent in the fact they want solid quality content. So don't go down that route. So kind of what we recommend is, if you're going to create content, especially on the blog, and you're kind of at a point where you're like, wow, I've exhausted almost every mental capacity that I have to create new pieces of content, and we're kind of down to like maybe one every 2 weeks or one a month. Now what do we do, right? And really the best approach, once you get to that point and your site is large enough and you feel like, wow, I've really gotten to every single potential keyword, I've really spoken about everything there is to do in the area and surrounding communities that I'm servicing or that I'm trying to lure in buyers and sellers for. And I really think now the approach should be going back in time and ensuring that the content that I have created over time is performing at an optimal level. So what happens is, just so you kind of know, SEOs like myself, what we do a lot of times is we'll find pieces of content that are performing significantly good or well that are out in the web, and we'll say, that's a really good idea. Like, we should totally copy that, right? Like, this person's obviously seeing a ton of success with this piece of content and is capturing a really solid keyword positioning. Let's copy it, not copy word for word, but copy the idea and then make it 2 or 3 times better, right? And then what happens is we do like a leapfrog. We end up ranking higher than they do because our quality of content is significantly better than them as a resource. So let's pretend that person that got passed up is you. Okay? Now what you have to do is go back in time and use tools like Google Analytics and Google Console and figure out which pages you need to restore glory to. And I would also even consider looking at the keyword positioning for those pages. And was there a point in time where you were ranking super well and then all of a sudden it kind of fell? Did you drop down from like 1 to 3 or 1 to 4? And what I would do is go through those pages and then just come up with ways to update those pages, update the quality of those pages, make them a valid, wonderful resource on the web, maybe even look at and see who's actually outranking you and see what you have to do to bring it up to their level or better, right? I always shoot for better just because I'm aggressive, right? So that's kind of what I would do. And I would for a lot of like the pieces of content, they're really like your bread and butter, right? Like the ones that like, dang, I'm killing it for these like 5 top keywords in my area. I got to make sure that I'm always number one for those, because that's, a significant chunk of all of my organic traffic, like maybe 30-40%. I got to protect those ones and protect that positioning. So sometimes what I would even consider doing is updating those like once every quarter, or if it's a huge keyword, once every month with really updated information. And, sometimes this stuff can change, and sometimes it might just be a piece of content that is hard to update. And then if that's the case and you're still ranked number one, every quarter or biannually is probably good enough. You could also update the content through imagery. You can update the content by adding a video, right? If you wanted to improve the time on site for that page, drop in a video, and that will actually increase the quality of that page. So you can get really creative if you wanted to. You could also, even if you wanted to, I just thought of this one, drop in an infographic, like a small image of the infographic, and they click on it and it gets bigger, and they're like, oh, wow, that's incredible. That's a great resource of information. And sometimes you can earn like social shares or backlinks into that page because you've spent time to create like some really incredible media around that particular topic. Really, I really think that if you go into this with just knowing that you want to be able to fall in line with what Google is trying to do, and that's really just quality. Like Google is all about quality, and if you can be in that same mindset that I don't want to just crank out tons of content, and I want it to be quality content, and that I can always improve upon it later to keep raising that bar. So if somebody creeps up on you, you can kind of leapfrog them. SEO is a nonstop battle. I'll just let you know. Sorry to break it to you. It's something that will reward you in perpetuity, but it's always something you have to keep up on. And, I'll tell you right now, it sounds like a lot of work, but just know it's significantly worth it. And it's something that will benefit your business across the board and really move the needle. So anyways, hopefully you found this video, educational and helpful. And until next time, on the next episode of Real Estate SEO, we'll all see you later. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.